Well, hello and welcome along to Tracktalk, and another busy race day coming up this weekend. It's a Saturday fixture, so a relatively quicker turnaround than usual, but we've got 11 races and a mixed card coming up from the Singapore Turf Club this weekend. I'm pleased to say that Raymond Jong has joined me here in the studio, and well, Ray, welcome to you as always, and we've got some Kranji Mile news which we'll get to shortly, but how's the week been since Sunday? It was a busy day, but a fun day.
Yeah, Sunday has been a great day for me, and I've seen Charisma, and I'm sure we'll do all these horses. They're passing through, they are great. And of course, last week we've seen the 12 races, but this week 11 races. But nevertheless, it's a very exciting time. Of course, as I said, the Kranji Mile nomination that just came out, so a draft. This is so-called initial draft, but we see, of course, Top Knight probably will be competing in this Kranji Mile.
Indeed, it's the first nomination stage just on this week's fixture. Obviously, race 6, a smallish field, but we will see the second run of his campaign of Big Hearted, last year's Gold Cup winner. So he's certainly one of the standouts on this 11 race fixture. Let's now have a look at these Kranji Mile nominations, and we've got a total of 33 of them, and we'll just go through one or two of these first off. Ray, for me, straight off the bat, the interesting thing being is that Grand Kunta has a rating 1 point higher than Top Knight, which is amazing, really. I think Top Knight's won 3 Group 1s. Take nothing away from Grand Kunta, he's a very good horse, but just on that page alone, all the usual suspects, would that be fair?
Yeah, that'll be fair. But Top Knight, because of last start in 1200 meters, he got beaten by this Limbs Lightning. So probably one rating point lower than Grand Kunta. But of course, as you said, he's the Derby winner. Well, he's probably a bit too low. And of course, look at Mr. Clean. Is definitely a marler, and of course, I'm incredible looking to get his form back.
He is indeed. Now, just on that page alone, obviously you've got numerous group winners there. Obviously, Top Knight is a Group 1 winner. Mr. Clint, Sun Marshall, I'm Incredible. Really top lineup there of horses. Big Hearted, obviously a Gold Cup winner. Let's flick to the other page and take a look at some of those further down the ratings. The likes of Zach Carser, very much more of a sprinter. Horse 15 there at this stage, Charisma. I mean, we've seen him do great things over the sprint trips. I can't disagree with the fact that Stephen has entered him for this race.
Yes, Charisma had done well last weekend, right? In the turf track for the first time. I mean, I don't know, maybe a mile might be a bit stretching for him.
Yeah, it could stretch him for sure. You've got Senor Don Sincerely a bit further down, and we've got obviously 13 more. There they are, 21 to 30. Makanani, obviously she is a Group 1 winner in her own right now, rated 81. Rocket Star, I'm looking forward to seeing this horse back, Ray, because he's very consistent, and on that page as well, you've also got Heartening Flyer, who's very talented, and Sun Power. Now, I've heard plenty of good things about this Sun Power. He's meant to be a really smart horse for Desico.
Yeah, we haven't seen Sun Power yet, right, until now. So, I don't know, maybe he might just able to get a good run if he ever feature, I think he's been bought as a bit of a derby horse. Elite Incredible there as well. Now with Michael Clement, Strong and Powerful. He runs this weekend, doesn't he? Strong and Powerful. Yeah, in the 1400, I think it's right up his alley.
And their Spirit of Big Bang also running this week. Relentless are very much an up-and-comer. Well, King's Command, 59 rated. It would seem as if it might be a little bit of an ask for him to perhaps obviously get in the field. He's a long way down, but well worth it entering. That obviously the 22nd of May. There is a second nomination stage as well. So the Muddied Waters will get that little bit clearer as we work towards the end of May there with that second feature of the year. Let's take a look at the premierships now, and here they are. Michael Clements leading the way to Mark Walker, 21 to 16. Stephen Gray's had a good run of things at the moment. He's currently on the 11 winner mark. Dan Mark 8, Jerome Tan 8. What about the jockeys there, Ray?
Yeah, we've got Mark Runner still on top. Of course, Louis at 10. Well, Black Jury got a double last weekend and is clipping up, but unfortunately this weekend got a suspension.
He has indeed. Jimmy Wong with 10 as well. Johnson Dradis with 8. Vlad certainly very much back where he belongs, but as you say, a suspension will not help his chance. And Hakeem Cameroon in 19, Rosman Iskander 6. Hopefully he'll be back soon, Rosman Iskander. I think there's been 1 or 2 issues with him, work permits or different things like that, I think, which is a shame. Krisner on 5, Simon Cock with 3 after a double last week. Fancy Yusof with a couple there. So far, well, as Ray alluded to, we've got a mixed card, 7 on the long course E and the remainder on the poly. So we've got 7 on the turf, 4 on the poly. Yeah, so we start at 12 o'clock. So make sure you're with us on time at Channel 88 in Singapore Pools. And the news continues just to filter through that public might be allowed in soon. So we'll keep abreast of that development as well. Let's take a look at the race card for race number 1. Here it is. Interesting horse we're going to take a look at shortly, Race Super Atas, but he's drawn wide in 13. Mark Lerner and Timmy Fitzsimmons. Hua Song in there as well. Military Chairman, Sun Spear, Piska Piska, Tony's Love, and Pasa Pinjai and Barbecue are the emergencies. Here is Super Atas Ray. Out of Restricted Maiden Company, the class I always liked that angle with a lightly raced horse.
Yes, lightly raced. Only 3 races so far in his hand. Yeah, so some improvement last time in 1600. Stepping out distance might be suitable for him. Good turn of from him. That was behind this real effecto. Yeah, take nothing away from him. It's well done on that race. Probably stepping up in first run on this is the first time in the turf in 1600. So might be able to surprise. For this.
Yeah, I thought he was an interesting runner, Super Atas. Obviously, that horse that was just ahead of him that day, that's a Sovereign, the stablemate, who's run well again since. The iRace magazine have got one of their track spies in the opener. It's Born to Win, who last time out clocked a very healthy sectional behind Perfect over 1,200 metres. What was your take on him? Because he's won 3 over 7 furlongs.
I thought I saw his performance earlier. I think late last year. That was a very good performance then, 1,400. But however, didn't really sort of like pick up the pieces and pieces. And I thought the improvement wasn't that great. But nevertheless, this is not a very strong class 5. He might just able to get a win in the 1600.
Just give us a line on your selection before we get to the numbers. You've got Sun Spear on top here, who's going to carry club colours. There's both sets of club colours on offer here.
Yes, the reason I picked Sun Spears because of his morning track was good, and he's a course and distance winner as well. Although his strike rate wasn't that high, but he definitely can manage the class 5 company. But having said that, this is a very I would say a very tricky and open race. You can see there are a lot of horses that probably can get a win, like Military Chairman, Born to Win, even Super Atas first time in the turf. Even Hao Sang, I thought he had a good run earlier this year. So I thought, I think it's an open race.
Yeah, it is a very open race indeed. I'm going Super Atas on top, over Born to Win. Magnificent Gold up at the top is drawn wide, but he's down in grade. First go at the basement level, and Sun General has now joined Desmond Coe. I'm throwing him into the numbers as well. 5, 4, 1, 2 in what is an open race.
I'm going for number 10, the Sun Spear on top, followed by the number 4 horse, Born to Win. A little bit erratic, but has ability. And Hao Sang on third, and last is the course and distance winner, number 9, Military Chairman. So my number is 10479.
Let's look at the first race, a Class 5 to open proceedings. Race 2 is an open maiden, probably not the strongest in the world. Immer is having another go now here, back on the turf, drawn 2. The Shadows has joined Michael Clemens. We're going to hear from Scott Bailey shortly as well regarding Alexander. He's a half brother of the Counter-Body Christo. Perhaps doesn't quite possess as much ability at this stage, but a very interesting horse nevertheless, and Scott can shed a bit more light on that situation as well. I can tell you, I'll pop round to the stables, and he's an absolute monster of a horse as well, is Alexander. But good friend of the show, Scott Bailey, assistant to Shane Birchke, a very hard-working assistant as well, I must say. Took a brief moment out to chat to me about this rather behemoth character they call Alexander. Scott, Alexander, perhaps not a familiar name to many in the Open Maiden, but his half-brother certainly is. He's a half to Counter-Body Christo, and he's had a couple of runs now, but a recent trial win as well.
Yeah, he trialled really well last week. Matty was very happy with the trial, and so was the boss. He's a progressive horse. He's still quite immature in the head and learning a lot, but he's probably 2 times bigger than the size of his half-brother. So I think he's still learning, and he's going to take a little bit of time, but we're happy with his trial. Hopefully he brings it to the race.
And that's obviously something quite evident, I imagine, from sort of purchase day in a sense, and the fact that obviously you get a good idea early on when they are that sort of big and carry that much sort of size and stature that they are going to take that bit of time.
Yeah, they do. Like every big horse you sort of deal with, you just know that they're going to take a bit of time to mature in themselves and learn what it's all about. But he's putting it all together slowly, and hopefully he can just improve that a little bit more this weekend.
And I know he never won a Group 1 Counter-Body Christo, but I guess when a half-brother or a half-sister or a full brother or whatever it may be walks into the stable, there's always that bit of anticipation. I guess he's on a bit of a hiding to nothing, really, isn't he, the poor horse?
Yeah, you enjoy having horses that are related to, well, prepared horses that have done well here before. So I think he's not as gifted at the moment as what his half-brother is, but you never know what the future holds with him.
Yes, indeed. Probably isn't as gifted as Scott mentioned there, Ray, but... what did you make of that trial? Because I called it, and it was a strangely run trial, because He ended up winning by 8.5 lengths, but it was just an odd trial to watch, really.
Yeah, he was really green, even in the trial. You can see when after he went weak, he just went up. He didn't want to do it, but he did run on well and in front of a circuit breaker. So I like that trial. So I look at his size. He looked like a strong, powerful machine.
Big.
I mean, the 2 run was a bit below par, definitely, but I thought maybe with this little small break, this trial, I think I see some improvement from him.
Yeah, I think he can only improve given his size, especially. Let's have a look at Imma next up. This is Imma. Now, this is running second. Now, we're taking the run 2 back here, Ray. I know it's on poly, but it was a better run over 12. He's at least back to the same trip here.
Yes, back in the same trip. Of course, he looks good in the turf 1200 meters. He got good speed in front, natural speed in front. That was a good run behind his stablemate Surge. Yeah, I think Imma probably will be one to lead the field.
Yeah, he could well do, couldn't he, actually? I think Simon can keep it simple. He'll be favourite, won't he?
Yes, probably. Yeah.
Here's a newcomer, Carl Manny, working with Diagnosis, who was due to run this race but isn't. We saw these owners, the Applause Racing, have what's the horse? Amazing Breeze, I think, recently run well. So Carl Manny's got to be interesting. Only cheap though, $5,000 he cost.
Yeah, that's probably.
You could afford him.
I can afford it, but I can't keep him. I don't think so. But I thought his stablemate Dionysus, I think trial better than him. So
shame he isn't running, right?
Yeah, shame he's not running. So I would like to see him see whether his form and also his weight on that day.
Just want to ask about one horse, and I was around at the Clement Stable recently, and I actually saw this horse, and he looked really well. And it's the Shadow. He ran third to Heartening Flyer a few runs back. I know he's not been in the same sort of form, but he hasn't got to be much better to go well here, I don't think. This is a weak race.
Maybe, yeah, not a weak race, not many genuine contender who got chance. Imma probably going to be very vulnerable in front of him. So, yeah, I think it's even though the likely favourite will be Imma, but I thought it'll be sort of like an open field.
Yeah, indeed. I think Imma will be the favourite here, and he's got plenty more experience than some of these. Let's take a look at the selections in what is a race, I think, where you probably don't want to go in too hard, in all fairness. So Imma, I thought, was the safest bet, but do just bear in mind he's been a beaten favourite on 4 occasions, including last time. But he was fifth to Billy Elliott, who looks like a nice horse. The Shadow in for second for me. I think he's a solid chance, this horse. In just an interesting run in a weaker race. Alexander and Superman, 1, 3, 8, 7.
Yep, I'm going for number 8, Alexander. I like his trial recently. And of course, the number 1, Imma, got to be considered. And 6, I thought I see some improvement in the morning track work. And yeah, so I put in number 6, Friday. And the 4th is number 10, Kalmani, just for the sake of remembering him in case he looked good in the yard, Number is 8, 1, 6, 11, 10.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see newcomers, especially in even races like this. So good luck to all of those that are starting off this weekend. We're 2 races in here on Track Talk, so much more still to preview. And after the break, we'll be hearing from another good friend of the show, Tim Fitzsimmons, who will field the Group 3 winning Boomba in race 3 of the afternoon. More on Boomba with Tim after this break.